You're listening to CFRN, a community of believers who trade for a living. To learn more about who we are, what we do, and how we do it, call toll-free 1-866-928-3310, and we'll send you out a no-obligation information kit absolutely free. 866-928-3310. The CFRN Emini Futures Cast is now on Stitcher. Listen to us on your iPhone, Android phones, BlackBerry, and WebOS phones. Stitcher is smart radio for your phone. Find it in your app store or at Stitcher.com. Stitcher Smart Radio, the smarter way to listen to radio.
Are you ready, Steve? Andy? Yeah! Bert? Well, all right, fellas. Let's go!
You're listening to CFRN, the Christian Financial Radio Network.
Today's broadcast is brought to you by Audible. Get a free audiobook download at www.audibletrial.com/CFRN. Over 85,000 titles. Choose from mystery, romance, religion, science, technology, business, New York Times bestsellers, even children's books. You name it, Audible has it. With 85,000 titles to choose from, you're sure to find the perfect audiobook for yourself or to give as a gift, and it's absolutely free. Just point your browser to audibletrial.com/CFRN. That's audibletrial.com/CFRN. And become a part of the audiobook revolution by downloading your free audiobook today. audibletrial.com/CFRN.
Hey trader, want to get rich quick? Well, good luck with that. If on the other hand you actually want to learn how to trade, the place to be is www.cfrn.net. Tune in Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. Eastern for our daily devotional, and then spend the next 3 hours learning how it's done from professional traders who actually trade for a living. That's www.cfrn.net. Every trading day from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern. CFRN, a community of believers who trade for a living.
Good afternoon, traders, and welcome back to the CFRN Emini Futures Cast. This is the daily broadcast of Indeterminate Length, where we discuss all things Emini, along with some really big ideas on the finer points of trading gold, bonds, crude, sugar, the euro, and even T-bills. Joining us today from our studios in Boston, Mr. Michael Bork. From our trading desk in Chicago, Mr. Burton Schlichter. Now, to get things started, let's go to our host and founder in Studio A, overlooking South Mountain, America's largest city park. Here's Dwayne.
Good afternoon. Welcome back. Today's Tuesday, 12th day of February, 2019. So glad you could join us. If you're returning, welcome back. If you're here for the first time, a special welcome to you. We're certainly glad to have you with us. I have a chart up of the S&P 500 Emini Futures. If you cannot see the chart, go to our homepage at CFRN.net. On the right-hand side of the page, click the big microphone, follow the instructions. You'll be registered in about 30 seconds, and hopefully it'll be the last time you ever have to register. How about that? Also, for those away from the desktop, you can go during the show live to youtube.com/CFRN/live, and there will be no software to download, and thanks to the good folks at YouTube for carrying the show. All right. Fell a little flat today. Get it tuned. All right. The S&P 500 Emini Futures 30-minute chart that I have up. We hit last week's weekly trading zone at 27.22/23. 3. Let me flip back to it. There we go. Now, that was not the highest weekly trading zone. The highest weekly trading zone last week was way up there. Is that this week's highest weekly trading zone? It's not that high. This has been quite a move here to the upside, as we can see from just this 30-minute chart, just reaching back to February the 8th. If we go to a daily chart, we can certainly see a whole lot more. In fact, let us, yeah, we can do it right here. ESH9. Yep. Okay. And let's go daily. There we go. All right. Let's check. From here, most recent swing high to the most recent swing low on a daily. We spent 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 days at that 62% reverse fib. Have we taken out this high? 27, 37, 75. We have. Now what? Well, since we don't know the future, the same as we can't change the past, that's the reality. I think we run into a headwind right in here somewhere. Okay, but we'll wait and see. We'll trade whatever's in front of us. I do believe that when we hit this area, there'll be some resistance if that's where the market takes us. And then again, here. Okay? And these are so close together. Remember, this was a high, leg retrace, lower high, leg retrace, another lower high, and then there we go. For a minute, this looked like this was going to be another lower high. Market turned itself around, and here we sit. We've had some incredible weeks of late, and there's much more on tap, I do believe. So let's get into it. I have a little bit of news for you. There was a survey done of Amazon shoppers. You might be one of those folks. Online commerce giant Amazon has one of the strongest brands in the world. Some of you may remember they started out as just an online bookstore some years ago, and some of the .com bombs that aren't around anymore, they used to scoff at the little online bookstore. My, how things change. That online bookstore has become almost a force of nature, taking over entire industries. The company also enjoys a great deal of trust with consumers, especially in the US market, where some people allow Amazon to unlock their front door and make in-home delivery. It's called Amazon Key. Other consumers install its AI-powered listening devices like Alexa, and in case you haven't heard lately, Alexa's always listening to you. Whatever's said, whatever's done, keeping tabs. And Amazon, you probably didn't know this, but maybe you did. Amazon even runs the CIA. Yes, that CIA. They run their cloud computing system. Yeah, right, okay. It would be fair to say that Amazon is more trusted and liked than most banks. That's probably not hard. Given this fact, it is not surprising that a good portion of its customers would also trust Amazon with their digital finance needs. I mean, if you can't trust the richest man in the world with your money, I mean, who can you trust? Be careful. A recent survey of over 1,000 Amazon clients by the financial portal investing.com found that 12.7% of them would feel comfortable purchasing cryptocurrencies under the Amazon brand. This could be assumed to be anything from an integrated cryptocurrency wallet to an Amazon-issued token. It could happen. Now, in this survey, they didn't ask just about crypto. The Consumer Confidence Survey covered a wide range of things. At the top of the list, the question asked in the survey, which of the following products and service offerings would you feel comfortable purchasing under the Amazon brand? 72.9% of those surveyed said they would feel comfortable purchasing an Amazon branded computer. 36.7% said they would buy prescription drugs. 31% trust home security, 29% medical marijuana, 22% pet care services, 16% cyber security, 16% virtual doctor visits, 15% healthcare coverage, 12% public transportation, and also down at 12.7% cryptocurrencies. Yep, well, there's a little bit of news. 72.9%. And it appears the direction Amazon is heading, and that's the reason this survey, I think, was put out. Amazon branded computers, medical marijuana, local coupons and deals, prescription drugs, and health care coverage. Now, this recent controversy that Jeff Bezos finds himself embroiled in, will that affect people's trust of Amazon? I don't know. I honestly don't. I'd love to hear your thoughts on that. Let's take a look at the numbers.
I think you want to hear the song Thoughts of the Thoughtful?
No. Sometimes, I told you, always listening, right? Just, all right, here we go. The numbers. Here they are. All right. We're going to start here in the U.S. These are cash markets, okay? We'll get back to the futures in just a moment. The Dow's up 323 points. NASDAQ is up 94. S&P 500 up 31. And the Russell 2000 up 17. All of the indices up today more than 1%. In the commodity basket, crude oil up $1.16. That's over 2%. Trading 53.57 last. Gold up 79 cents, trading 13.1270 last. In the Asian markets, at the close, the Nikkei was up 531 points. That's almost 3%. Shanghai closed the session up 18, and the Hang Seng was up 27. In European markets, the FTSE gained 4 points by the close, the DAX up 111, and the CAC up 41. So there you have it, a green day in Asia, a green day in Europe, a green day here in the US of A. Go markets. And go Michael. We'll go to Michael right now, get a recap of what happened in the live training room this morning, and then I'll be back. Are you ready, Michael?
Oops, yes, I am ready.
He is ready.
My mic was off. I am ready. Excellent. Ready to go. Excuse me. Okay, that's better. Okay. Alright. Valerie and I are working stuff out. I need to stop doing that so I can do this.
Are you having a webinar this afternoon?
Yes.
Okay.
Webinar this afternoon, 1:15 p.m. If somebody can type something in here, anything, just a Y or K or no or anything, I will post the link to that in here.
There you go.
Okay. Thanks, Bart and Gary. Okay, hang on. Let me just, I think I got it on my clipboard right now. This is the full thing. Send to all. Now, and make sure that, yeah, okay. There it is. That is to the webinar this afternoon at 1:15 p.m. Okay, so it's in an hour. We'll be starting that up. Okay. Okay. Valerie, you can't do it because you're an organizer. Type in a Y in there. It goes in there.
I saw that. Okay.
Thank you, though. Thank you, though. Okay, so let's get started. Dwayne's on his way to get coffee. He's on his way to the Derrick.
No, not yet. I was waiting for you to grab the charts. There you go.
I already have the charts. I think.
It wasn't showing on my end, but now it is. So,
Oh, okay.
Okay, here
Okay.
we go.
Good.
And there's that. And it's all yours.
Excellent. Got it. All right, good afternoon, everyone. Today is Tuesday, the 12th day of February, 2019. Excuse me. If you have not taken a free trial with us, go to the homepage at CFRN.net. And over here in the right-hand column, it says 5-day free trial. Apply.cfrn.net. If you click on that, or if you scroll down here, it says free 5-day trial. If you scroll down here, it says use our proprietary indicators for free. And there's even one more way down at the bottom. Start free trial. Click on any of those, and you're eventually going to be brought to this page, where all we ask for is your email, your first name, and how you found us. Hit the submit button. Once you hit that submit button, you'll be sent a confirmation link. You got to click on that confirmation link. Okay, if you don't click that link, we don't know that you took the free trial. So you got to make sure you click on that. Okay. Okay. Spreadsheet. If you're going to read the spreadsheet, you got to read all the CFTC risk disclosures down at the bottom. Today, as I said, is the 12th day of February 2019, and today we made 8 ticks in the euro, 15 ticks in crude, and we had 1 break-even trade on the ES. That put us at $200 per contract this morning. So 2 days at $200 per contract. That's good news. Today we had 47 minutes and 2 trades to get to the goal for the day. At that point, we're up $100 a contract, and we took 4 more trades and doubled that. Now on the month, we're up $1,066. That's over 8 days, averaging $133 per day. On the year, we're at $3,097. That's over 27 days, averaging $114 per day. Okay, $114 per day. I know those aren't real big numbers, but you got to think that's 1 contract, 2 hours per day. Okay. If you look at this right here, and you look at this right here, if you added 1 contract per month last year, that would have been the number at the end of the year. And I'd be even more now. You'd be at 14 contracts right now. And if you just started off with 10 contracts and did everything exactly the same that I did, and got filled on both ends exactly the same that I did, then you would be at that number last year. Okay. I know right now, starting out the year is always kind of, it doesn't look like it's a lot of money, but it certainly can be. Multiply that times 14, and that's where you'd be today. Okay, to the charts. Let's see, and gold. We didn't do anything with gold today. We did nothing with gold. There was 1 momentum short trade right here toward the end of the session. Oh, I guess it was at 10 o'clock. I thought it was toward the end of the session, but not so. but there were just no trade opportunities. From 9:30, which was right in here, there was nothing. All the way down here until you got here at 10 o'clock. There was a momentum short trade that went 3 ticks. And then we get into the break. And, you know, I don't know what to say. Gold was just not giving it up today. You know, in the pre-market, there was a little bit of opportunity. But during the normal session, there was nothing. And, you know, there's, speaking of gold and stuff that gold reacts to, I was just thinking, Fed Chair Powell is going to be speaking in about 20 minutes. So the markets may react to things that he's saying. I mean, he's going to speak, and then there's going to be a Q&A after, and it may be during the Q&A where he gives out more information than he had planned in his speech, probably. But that's at 12:45. Okay. Now, the euro. In the pre-market, again, in the pre-market, the euro had some nice trades. Look at this one right here. That was beauty right there. Short right there, that was nice too. But once we got in, we had nothing here for the first hour and a half, really. Then there was a bump right here that went up, and another one right here. Now, at this point, we were putting in new highs. So, yeah, we were this far below the high of the day at this point, right here. And it did go in and, you know, added to the high of the day. But we took 6 ticks profit on this one. No, we actually, I'm looking at the wrong one again. We took 8 ticks profit on this. Took 8 ticks profit on this. We missed that one. Took 8 ticks there, and we missed that one. And that was it for the euro. Yeah, during the break, it gave one more right here, but at the time, the high of the day was right here. Okay, so I didn't want to do anything with that. And then the slingshot just fell apart. On crude oil. What do we do on crude today? Okay, yeah, crude. As usual, crude is one of our better ones. We started out here with a break even on crude. And then right here, we took a bounce off the BBC. Now, this was almost the highest probability trade setup. Oops, well, we didn't really need that trend line anyway. The only thing wrong with it is that the cycle had just turned blue. I mean, the MA1, it just turned blue. The cycle was nice and red. Good separation down here. That's what you want to see. Nice leg down right there. That's what you want to see. It came back up. It hit the BBC. The cycle is red. At that point, when it hit the BBC, the MA1 was still red. But when the bar closed, the MA1 was blue. If the MA1 had stayed red, that would have been our highest probability trade setup. But either way, it gave us 10 ticks. And that's where we got the gold for the day. We missed this one and this one, which would have added to the gold for the day. And then we added on 5 ticks right over here on a bounce off the BBC and a close above the trend line. Okay, and then it got really choppy for a while, for half an hour, roughly. It got really choppy. And there was another one over here that I didn't get filled on, and a break even right there. Then it got really choppy. And during the break, it started to run the other way. And there was a long opportunity there and there. And then it changed directions. And this is almost identical to the trade that I had done earlier where I got the gold for the day. And it had a short off the BBC right there. And now it's got nothing right at the moment. But crude was definitely, once again, was the market to be trading in. The ES, well, let's go here with the ES. We started out right above this weekly trading zone. Then it did a very, very slow, painful grind up, where there was a long trade right here that would have been a break even. And then the slingshot was saying it's going down, and it did slowly go down. And there was a momentum short right here that would have been a break even. Then it tried changing directions again. And we took a break even trade right here. And Good Lord. That thing is just a mess. It's just a mess today. And today is the 12th day of February 2019. So we have a ways before we're going to be flipping any of these markets. And let's now go back here to the spreadsheet. If you're going to read the spreadsheet, you can read all the CFTC risk disclosures down at the bottom. Today is the 12th day of February 2019. We made 8 ticks in the euro, 15 ticks in crude, and we had 1 break-even trade on the ES. That put us up $200 a contract. And today it took 47 minutes and 2 trades to get to the goal for the day. And at that point, we were up $100 per contract. We took a total of 6 trades today. So on the month now, we're up $1,066. That's over 8 days, averaging $133 per day. On the year, we're at $3,097. That's over 27 days, averaging $114 per day. Okay, $114 per day. If you have not taken a free trial with us, go to the home page at CFRN.net. It's right here, a 5-day free trial. Just click on this or any one of these big green things down here. Free trial. Click on any of those and you will eventually be brought to this page where all we ask for is your email, your first name, and how you found us. Hit the submit button. Once you hit that submit button, you'll be sent a confirmation link. You must click on the confirmation link. Okay? If you don't click the confirmation link, we don't know that you took the free trial. Just make sure you do that. Okay? Okay. And that's all I have for the recap. I don't know if Dwayne is back yet, but with that, we can pass it back out to fabulous Phoenix, Arizona, in Studio A, overlooking South Mountain, America's largest city park.
I'm here.
Excellent. John's not out there yet.
Okay. Well, he has to come quick because I won't be here too terribly long. You know, sometimes probably one of the most frequently asked questions is, when do you sleep? And I think the greater question is, when does Kellyanne Conway sleep? I'm concerned about her. She looks very tired. She's on right now. She's sitting behind the president. He's making a speech. We have a deal supposedly that's going to keep the government open, which is good. Trump says he's not happy with it, but it's moving in the right direction.
It's a deal.
Yeah. Now tonight she'll be on Fox with talking to Hannity or somebody, and she just looks tired. I don't really know much about her. I'd never heard of her until she was Trump's advisor. So, I mean, she really seems to know her stuff. She's bright. She's articulate. She seems to have done a very good job. But, man, she looks tired. So, anyway. Okay, recap of the recap.
Today, Dwayne, it took 47 minutes and 2 trades to get to $100 per contract.
That is a good bingo. Nice. Okay, and I see that you and Valerie have got all the links out to all the good folks that want to come to that webinar this afternoon.
Yes. Yes, indeed.
Alrighty then. Okay. I said yesterday, we went over the Logic 247 alerts yesterday. I said today we would run through the Concierge Trade Alerts. I try to switch back and forth between those. So I'm going to drag them up to the screen. If somebody would like to grab a screenshot, there it is. And there it is. Okay, got it? Let's go. All right, on the S&P 500 Emini Futures, we suggested last evening that if one was so inclined that they might be interested in getting a long position on around 27.15, which is about right there. There we go. That's pretty close. Back it down. 27.15 on the nose. All right, let's go. 27.15. Okay. Now, these are last week's zones, by the way. This is the Sunday night Globex Open. And yes, this week we only have, on a Tuesday, one weekly trading zone overhead. Now, this bullish move I intimated earlier, I think it has about run its course. Doesn't mean the sky's falling, the world's coming to an end, or any of that. We know that in a healthy uptrend, there will be healthy pullbacks. It's just how the market works. In a down move, there are pullbacks. So there are small ones and big ones, and you really, if you want to, you gotta go to your daily chart, and that's where we are right here. So if I do this, and I do this, and I do this, now this is a work in progress. See, I can only put that at the high of the day. Tomorrow could be higher, and I will have to adjust it. Okay. So a likely pullback would be first to the 24, because that 24% Fibonacci retracement lines up with this swing low and this swing low. Okay, I'm going to put it right on there. See that? Yep. In fact, let me draw one of these infamous rectangles. There you go. That is the most likely spot. If that doesn't hold, then this spot right here, smack dab in the middle of that 38 and 50% fib retracement, I think that's highly likely. I'm not saying the pullback's kicking in today or tomorrow. I don't know the future. I just know that if we keep moving higher, then this is going to move higher. But I think, and again, just one man's thoughts, I think we're due for retracement. What do you think? Since we had that bullish cross back on January 11th, we've not touched the BBC. Just go back to the 30-minute. So we know that, just try to hold this thought in your mind. On the daily chart, we're in a bullish trend higher. If we look in our rearview mirror, the last thing we see is a bullish cross. But we also know that pullbacks are healthy in an uptrend to keep it alive and to keep it moving. So at some point, now remember, as we were reaching back to try to grab a hold of that BBC last week, look at all this. And we had a good old time with that, but we never quite made it to the BBC. Now, here, let me scrunch this up for a minute. Okay. So, have we taken out last week's highs? We certainly have. Okay. That zone from 2 weeks ago that served us so well last week was 2735/36. Now, we cruised right through that thing today. All right. So, 2715 to 2730, that would be 15. Throw in another 10. That would be 25. And tack on 2, that'd be 27. So this has been a 27-point S&P move to the upside. At $50 per point. You can do the math. All right. We consolidated at last week's zone. I went into some detail yesterday about how the zones, and I try to touch on it each week. Last week's zones are valid on Sunday night. They're valid on Monday, on Tuesday. Last week, we saw that highest weekly trading zone hold sway over the market all the way up through Wednesday or Thursday. So when I give out the zones this Thursday, if you're not a CFRN partner, if you're not a passport holder, yeah, you might jot them down, okay? Just in case they become of value next Sunday night and Monday and Tuesday, okay? All right, so we hit this, we consolidated last week's zone, off we go, and here we sit. Now, I don't expect any kind of a major, massive reversal today. When you have this sort of a powerful trend up day, we may come off, we may backpedal a little, but I think it would take some pretty strong news to reverse this thing. And I don't think finding El Chapo guilty of all counts in his drug trafficking trial this morning, I don't think that's going to turn the market around. I think what Trump was just talking about, the fact that there's a deal he's not happy with, but it seems like they have a deal that will keep the government open. He's not very happy, but again, it should keep the government open. Now, and that's, he used, he gave you the good news first. The bad news, which you didn't really go into or talk much about, at least I didn't hear it, was the fact that him and Xi are not going to meet at the end of March as had been discussed. You'll remember back last week, after the rout, this thing started to turn around and, you know, made some impressive gains by the close on Friday, fueled primarily by the fact that he was going to have a meeting with Xi at the end of March. Politics. Now, let's do this before we move on to another chart. CFRN. You may have heard of it. Here we go. What is this? What's the tail of the tape here? Okay. Now, let's talk about this for a minute. When we hit that zone from last week, last night, there's an exit signal right there. That closed at 27.2075. So if you were in at 15 and you waited for the exit signal, you'd have been out with a 5-point gain. Okay? Doesn't change the fact that this leg was good for 27 points so far. But taking the exit signal, you're out. Now, this is something that I teach it to all of our traders when I'm doing one-on-one mentoring with them, and I'll sometimes in workshops or whatever it comes up. Okay, there's your exit signal, and we understand step line crosses, first close below the step line, in the opposite direction of the move, red candle in this case, because this was a buy, so we're looking for a red candle here. That gives us an exit signal. I have taught that if you will linger for just a bit, a tad, that's a technical term. If you linger for a tad, you look at this candle. Compared to the size of this candle, and this candle, and this candle, yeah? I mean, you get a little doji right there in that zone, not unusual. Signal of indecision in beautiful context. My point is that this candle, it ticked, let's see, the low of this candle was 20.5, the low of this candle 20.25. Okay, it took out the low of the exit signal by 1 tick. Did it close below it? No. Now, you don't want to linger too long if there's a lot of momentum, and if there's a lot of momentum, you maybe don't want to linger at all. This is what they refer to as very little momentum. Okay, so my point being is if you lingered here and you saw it close green, you might be tempted to see what the next one's going to do. And, you know, after the fact, oh, don't forget, it's pretty simple to look like a genius with a historic chart, okay? Now, I don't have any problem telling you that because I'm here using a historic chart every day. So what else am I going to do? But there are some who will attempt to dazzle you with a historic chart, and they won't cop to the fact that, well, you know, it is a historic chart. So I'm not trying to blow any smoke up your chimney. I just want you to understand this dynamic. I'm not saying you should have stayed with this trade last night, but this is a perfect teaching moment to explain to you that linger that we've talked about. I may have talked with you about it before. You weren't quite sure. Boy, take a picture of this, because look what happened. Now, we get pinched between the CFMA1 and that zone from last week, and for 1 hour, 2 hour, 3 hours, we finally broke free, and then look what happened. Step line crosses again. Now you got 2 exit signals, right? Well, what happens with the next candle? Does it even take out the low? In fact, it actually gapped up a tick, it looks like. This closed at 26. This opened at 26 and a quarter. And then, and if you found yourself in this part of the move, okay, boy, there's sure no reason to jump out of that. Like jumping out of a perfectly good airplane. Why? You paid for the ticket, right? Okay. Now, could this be an exit signal? No. Step line hasn't crossed. It's got to cross, close below exit signal. Okay? All right. Now, also, while we're still on this chart, let me just tell you all about it. Hang on. We had an alert to consider buying the ES at 27.25. That was the Logic 247 alert. I know I'm doing the Concierge today, but I just wanted to throw this one in. 27.25. Okay. That's close enough. 27.25. L2 by 27.25. What I want your takeaway from this to be is, with the Concierge Trade Alerts, there are 2 numbers for each market. We do 8 markets. We do the S&P, the Dow, the Russell, the NASDAQ, gold, crude, bonds, and soybeans. Okay. When we hit that buy number, what that's telling you is that this price or higher, you should be looking for long trades. The sell side of the equation that you just took a screenshot of, it says if we reach this number, you should be looking to put on short trades. Okay, so we have this 27.15 wind at our back, and we have this 27.25 just overhead. If you needed, you know, some reason to linger, if you've got this information right here and this information, lingering here becomes a little easier. Okay, so now see, we trigger 27.25, pull back to 27.22, and then lift off. The second or third trigger often provides greater profit potential with less risk. If you're a new passport holder, make sure you book a mentoring session with me so that we can go over the fine points of everything that I just said. Okay, so from 27.25 up to 27, well, if it was 45, if it had gone another tick, yeah, 25 to 45, that would be 20 S&P points. Okay, all right. Now, right here, exit signal, well, the exit signal only works really on an extended move. Okay, and at this point you don't have an extended move. Really what it looks like is it wants to come back and trigger again or touch the BBC. Look at this move. We have not touched the BBC all the way up. Do you think a retracement's coming? It is. Are we gonna short this thing here? Are we gonna fade the trade? No. Not that that isn't, you know, counter trend trades are a valid thing. People do them. Some people, I suppose, do them for a living. We just like to trade with whatever the prevailing trend is. Of course, as a discretionary trader, you have the ability to do, you know, whatever it is you want to do. In fact, yesterday, at the end of the show, I think it was, I said it looked like, well, I put it in the channel somewhere. Let me go find it. It's right here. At 2:23 p.m. yesterday. 2:23. What is that? Right here? That's 15:30. Anyway, the comment was, not a lot of room to maneuver, but the high probability is from where we are now at 2706, we most likely drop to the weekly trading zone below this week. And did we do that? No. No, we did not. And when something like that happens, when we don't make that drop, that sends a signal. Okay, I don't beat myself up because it didn't do it. Nothing's to be gained from that. What I have to understand is when it doesn't do what I believe is and what you learn to believe is the highest probability thing. If it doesn't do the highest probability thing next, according to your understanding, if it does the opposite, well, you need to revisit it. And so at this point, right here, I've forgotten about anything dropping anywhere because the market is telling me something different. And I have to pay attention, not to the TV, not to the radio, not to the guy in some, you know, room, but I have to believe the chart. Get your information from the chart. Okay? Do I stay in this trade? Ask the chart. Where do I put my stop loss? Ask the chart. Okay? All right. Enough of that. Moving on. If you got any questions, put them in the box. So I guess I should open the question box. Hi. What time Eastern would the alert go out? Which alert, Mike? Which one? Which one do you want? The Concierge Trade Alerts that I just put up on the screen, is that the one you're talking about? Or are you talking about the one that says by 27:25? Which one? Okie doke. That went out at 11:14 p.m. Eastern last night. Military time, that would be 23:14. So in the 2300 candle, this red candle right here was printing when I put this alert out. Okay, got it? That's when it went out. Gary says, sometimes I see volume on my charts, and sometimes I don't. When do you use them? Gary, look over here. You see that? That's volume. It's always on my chart. It's always running. On the S&P anyway. I don't really have to see the bars. I can scrunch it down even more. Just as long as I can see the green. And this is the average true range over the last 48 candles. I like to know what that is. And of course the slingshot. Yeah. So I can keep them, you know, pretty down this small. But that green number, that's volume. Okay. All right. Let's go to the Dow. I have it on the Dow. I don't track. The only one that I really keep an eye on volume is the S&P. I have it on some of the other charts, but it doesn't provide me with the same value, so to speak. It could, I guess. It's not something I monitor. Remember, Michael and I set out to make this thing as simple as we possibly can. So we had to get rid of a lot of stuff, throw a lot of stuff out to get it this simple. And so that's why you don't see us adding stuff back in. How did you put volume there? Oh, okay, I'll show you. Here, I'll take it out. Area. Remove volume. Yes. Come up here and say insert indicators volume, and there it is. You see it? Got it. Okay. Fantastic. Yeah, I really like to have that on my, and I talked about it in the workshop the other night. And I encourage everyone to keep a record of each 30-minute candle over the course of a week or a couple of weeks, so that you can determine what the average volume is, like from say from 10 a.m. to 10:30 a.m. What's the average volume? Okay. If it's significantly higher today or significantly lower, that knowledge should play into, how you enter and manage and exit your trades. All right, on the Dow last night, the Concierge Trade Alert said to consider being long 25130. 25130. Should be about there. Maybe there. Pretty close. There. $25130. And we ran up to 350. So 130 to 350, I don't know, 120 points or thereabouts. Exit signal. Well, let's take a look. Well, this one here, you haven't even got out of bed yet, so remember, it's on the extended move, all right? And one thing that tells you an extended move is when price is on the left side there of the CFMA1. That one, arguably, yes. That one, certainly. Linger, and look what happens. Make sense? Okay. All right. Go to the Russell. On the Russell, Concierge Trade Alert. Consider being long 1527. And we ran up to 37 would be 10. What do you got? 14? I'll take it. In Q. Now, remember all these zones that you see on here from last week. On the NQ, Concierge Trade Alert said to consider buying 69.38. Right there. Okay. And we put in a high of 70.18. So that's 50 plus. That's $1,000 per contract at $20 a point. Crude oil. Concierge Trade Alert for crude last night. Consider buying 53.30. Right here. So from 53.30, we ran up to 54.05. So that's $750 per contract available. Price got back below the trigger, as it does, and ran up again this time to $53.81. Another $500 per contract. And let's see, where do we go from here? Now this looks like it could be a grain report. Michael, you know if we had a grain report today? Oh, that's right. Michael had to go do his webinar. All right, soybeans last night. Consider buying 916, which is right there. And we put in a swing high up at 919.75. Maybe that's not a grain report. They were supposed to be last week. I never did track that down. So, okay. Last on our list, gold. So I'll use that chart. Okay. Conserving long 13.19. No trigger. Consider being short 13.05. No trigger. No Concierge Trade Alert trigger last night on gold. All right. And for those who don't know, the CFRN Passport includes not only the Logic 247 alerts, but it includes that static report, the Concierge Trade Alerts. That's included. It's all inclusive. Everything we do here at CFRN is included in the Passport. And I don't know if I said it yesterday or not, but welcome to all the new Passport holders. Glad to have you on. Okay. I said I wouldn't keep you terribly long today, and I won't. We had a couple long shows. We had a long show Friday, a long show yesterday. So today, we're going to go straight to our good word for the day. If you have any questions, I'll put them in the chat box. Be happy to answer them. Sometimes we need to people let us down, right? Things let us down. Circumstances. Our car. Sometimes it doesn't start. I know. What are you going to do? Well, when it comes to God, remind yourself that He, above all things, is faithful. 2 Peter 1:13. It is right to refresh your memory. A pole vaulter only discovers how high he can jump when he clears the bar. Then he sets it higher. God does that too. He stretches your faith to what seems like your breaking point. Pastor and author John Walker says, "At one point I sensed God stretching my faith. Specifically, He told me to stop receiving a regular payslip and start living by faith." So with radiant certainty that God would provide because He told me He would, I did what He said and started looking for His provision. I kept a log of every way God took care of me, and the list grew joyfully impressive. God was moving me from a tentative, "I hope it will happen," to a very certain, "I know this will happen." Yet within months, I was literally staggered with doubt. I'd lost my focus and started scrambling for ways to generate income, believing it was my responsibility to make things happen because God may or may not come through. Now, you may be further along than I am in learning to trust God, but then again, you may have experienced exactly what I'm describing. Understand this. A faith that cannot be shaken comes only from a faith that has been so severely shaken that it is now sure, certain, and steadfast. Our greatest concern is getting our needs met, but God's greatest concern is developing our faith. Hebrews 11:6. Without faith, it is impossible to please God. Now, we all know that scripture. Without faith, it is impossible to please God. But don't forget this. Faith is not what you believe. Faith is what you do with what you believe. Write that down and think about it. That's why Peter wrote, I will always remind you of these things, even though you know them and are firmly established in the truth. It is right to refresh your memory. 2 Peter 1:12 and 13. So friends, keep reminding yourself, God is faithful. That's our good word for the day. And I have one last question here in the chat box. Greg asks, 3 candles back. Is that a bearish engulfing candle, which means we should see the market fall somewhat? Yes. Well, yes to the first part of your question. We do this high is higher than this high. Let me draw it out here. That high is higher than the previous candle's high. This low is lower than the previous candle's low. So when you can draw a line off the top and a line off the bottom, and the previous candle sits inside of it, that makes it an outside candle. There are some who would argue whether or not it's truly a bearish engulfing candle, because the body doesn't extend above this body or wick, but on the downside it does. And to me, that's, I don't even get into that. I recognize it as an outside candle. What's important though is that you understand the context. See, you can get an outside candle that means absolutely nothing because there's no context. You're in a sideways market. If it's anything, it's just a continuation signal. Okay? Does this have bearish implications? It does, and we'll see what happens. The market is so bullish right here, right now. I would not consider, I would look at this and I would watch it. I would not take action the second this candle completes, because you see it closed well off its high. Had it closed on the low, it would have gotten my attention a little more so. And now look what's happened. We've got an inside candle. Okay, you asked about the outside. You asked if this was an outside. Okay, this is an inside, which in this case gives strength to this. So what you want to watch for here? Do we go up, double top, roll over? Or before that happens, do we take out the low of this candle? Taking out the low of this signal candle would be very important. So that's what I would keep my eye on. And thanks so much for asking that question, Greg. Always a pleasure to answer a question for you. All right, that's going to do it for Tuesday, 12th day of February 2019. We're in Phoenix, Arizona. It is exactly 11:11 a.m. How many times do you look at the clock when it says 1, 1, 1, 1? It's a thing, you know. I don't know that I buy into it, but it's a thing. It sure happens to me a lot, now that I'm aware of it. And I got a whole long explanation for that. If you don't believe me, Google it. 1, 1, 1, 1. Yep, there's websites and all kinds of stuff. All right. But don't fall down that rabbit hole. Thanks so much for tuning in. Whoever you are, wherever you are. May God continue to richly bless you with His mercy and with His grace. And I'll see you at the bell.
Remember this, there is no greater return on investment than to see a human life changed and given hope. As always, pray hard and trade safe. Any financial information discussed on this show is simply the opinion of our host, Dwayne Reeves, his co-hosts, and guests. To learn more about trading Emini Futures or to take a 1-week free trial in our live trading room, call 1-866-928-3310. 866-928-3310. Information discussed on this radio program should not be construed as a recommendation to buy or sell any security. Always do your own due diligence and consult with a licensed securities broker or financial planner before making any investment decision.